Seniors, if your legs feel weaker than they did just a few years ago, if you wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning with a cramp so sharp it feels like your calf is twisting into a knot, or if climbing stairs now feels strangely exhausting, your body may be trying to warn you about something much deeper. I'm Dr. Richard Vance, and today I want to show you why some seniors lose leg strength far faster than they should, and how certain hidden nutrient deficiencies may be part of the reason. And what's causing it may not be aging itself. It may be a hidden nutrient deficiency silently shutting down the electrical system inside your muscles. Because after age 60, your legs do not weaken overnight. They weaken cell by cell, nerve by nerve, signal by signal, often for years before most people realize what's happening. And here's what makes this so dangerous. Many seniors assume leg cramps are just dehydration, or poor circulation, or normal aging. But research now suggests that certain vitamin and mineral deficiencies may dramatically increase the risk of muscle weakness, nighttime cramps, poor balance, and even falls. The good news? Your muscles are far more repairable than most people think. In fact, one overlooked nutrient has been shown to support muscle relaxation, nerve signaling, energy production, and even strength recovery at the cellular level. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why so many adults over 60 begin feeling stronger, steadier, and more stable once they finally correct what their body has been missing. But what happens next matters even more. Because the number one mistake seniors make is focusing only on the cramp, while ignoring the biological breakdown happening underneath it. And that hidden breakdown often starts inside the mitochondria, the tiny energy factories inside your muscle cells. Before we begin, tell me in the comments below, have you experienced nighttime leg cramps recently? And do your legs feel weaker now than they did 5 years ago? I read every comment personally because your experience may help someone else realize they are not alone. And if you enjoy learning how to support healthier aging naturally, make sure to like this video and subscribe so you never miss our weekly health updates. Now let's begin with the nutrient most seniors underestimate: magnesium. Most people think magnesium is only for relaxation or sleep. That is a massive misunderstanding. Magnesium is involved in more than 300 biochemical reactions in the human body, and many of them directly control how your muscles contract, relax, repair, and generate energy. Here's what most people never get told. Every time your leg muscle contracts, calcium rushes into the muscle cell like an electrical trigger. But for that muscle to relax again, magnesium must push the calcium back out. Without enough magnesium, the muscle stays partially contracted. That lingering tension builds and builds until suddenly your calf locks up in the middle of the night with a painful spasm. That cramp is not random. It is often a biochemical traffic jam, and this becomes dramatically more common after 60. Because aging changes how your body absorbs nutrients. Your digestive system becomes less efficient. Certain medications increase magnesium loss through the urine. Chronic stress burns through magnesium reserves faster. Even decades of processed foods and depleted soil may gradually lower magnesium intake over time. And the symptoms rarely appear all at once. At first, you may simply feel tighter calves. Then your legs tire faster during walks. Then climbing stairs becomes harder. Then the cramps begin. But the real reason this matters goes deeper. Magnesium is also required to produce ATP, the molecule your body uses for cellular energy. Think of ATP as fuel for your muscles. Without adequate magnesium, Your cells cannot efficiently activate that fuel. So even when muscles look normal from the outside, internally they are struggling to generate energy. That's one reason many seniors describe their legs as heavy, rubbery, or drained. The muscle itself may not be the true problem. The energy system inside the muscle may be failing. Research has linked low magnesium status with muscle weakness, poor physical performance, inflammation, insulin resistance, and impaired nerve signaling in older adults. And this is where many people finally begin connecting the dots. Because low magnesium rarely travels alone. It often appears alongside another major deficiency that quietly affects balance, coordination, and nerve health after 60. Vitamin B12. If magnesium helps muscles relax, vitamin B12 helps nerves communicate. And without healthy nerve communication, your muscles lose coordination long before they lose size. This is incredibly important. Your nerves are wrapped in a protective coating called myelin. Think of myelin like insulation around an electrical wire. Vitamin B12 helps maintain that insulation. But when B12 levels begin dropping, those electrical signals from the brain to the legs become slower, weaker, and less reliable. And suddenly strange symptoms begin appearing. Pins and needles, burning feet, balance problems, weakness when standing up, unsteady walking, muscle fatigue, nighttime twitching, and eventually, cramps. What makes B12 deficiency especially dangerous is how easy it is to miss. Many older adults are technically within normal range on blood tests while still experiencing neurological symptoms, and aging itself increases the risk. After 50 or 60, the stomach often produces less acid, making it harder to absorb B12 from food. Certain medications for acid reflux and diabetes may reduce absorption even further. So even seniors eating meat, fish, or eggs can slowly become deficient without realizing it. And this creates a chain reaction throughout the body. Because weak nerve signaling affects muscle activation, poor muscle activation reduces movement. Less movement worsens circulation. Reduced circulation limits oxygen delivery to tissues, and over time, the legs begin feeling older than the rest of the body. But here's the encouraging part. When B12 deficiency is corrected early enough, nerve function may improve significantly. Many people notice stronger balance, better walking endurance, less tingling, and fewer muscle spasms within weeks or months, depending on severity, especially when combined with movement and proper nutrition. One of my patients, a 69-year-old retired mechanic named Daniel, described his legs as feeling disconnected from his brain. He said stairs felt unpredictable. Some days his legs obeyed him. Other days they felt weak and unstable. His nighttime cramps were becoming constant. Testing revealed low normal B12 levels, along with borderline magnesium deficiency. We focused on improving both. Sublingual methylcobalamin in the morning, magnesium glycinate in the evening, more protein, and short daily walks after meals. 6 weeks later, he told me something I'll never forget. "Dr. Vance, my legs finally feel awake again." Not perfect, not magically young, but stronger, more responsive, more dependable. And that reliability matters enormously after 60 because confidence in movement affects everything from independence to fall risk. But there's still another hidden factor many seniors overlook completely: vitamin D. Now, most people hear vitamin D and immediately think about bones. But vitamin D also plays a major role in muscle function, inflammation control, immune regulation, and balance. In fact, muscle cells contain vitamin D receptors, almost like tiny antennae waiting for activation. When vitamin D levels are too low, those muscles often become weaker and less coordinated. And this deficiency is incredibly common in older adults, especially in people who spend less time outdoors. Here's the hidden biological problem. As we age, the skin becomes dramatically less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight. A person in their 70s may produce far less vitamin D from the exact same sun exposure compared to someone in their 20s. That means many seniors slowly drift into deficiency year after year without realizing it. And low vitamin D has been associated with reduced muscle strength, slower walking speed, impaired balance, and increased fall risk. But vitamin D also works together with magnesium. This is critical. Without magnesium, vitamin D cannot be properly activated inside the body. So sometimes people take vitamin D supplements for months without improvement because the underlying magnesium deficiency was never corrected. Everything in the body is connected, and this is where the conversation becomes far more important than simply stopping cramps. Because muscle weakness after 60 is not only about discomfort, it's about independence. The ability to stand up easily, walk confidently, carry groceries, use stairs safely, get out of bed without fear, play with grandchildren, travel comfortably, maintain dignity. Strong legs are one of the greatest predictors of healthy aging. In many studies, lower leg strength is associated with increased frailty, reduced mobility, and higher risk of hospitalization. That's why this topic matters so much more than people realize. But vitamins alone are not enough, and this is where most seniors accidentally sabotage their progress. Because muscles over 60 respond differently than younger muscles. They require activation, not punishment. Most people think they need intense exercise to rebuild strength. Actually, older muscles often respond better to consistency than intensity. And one of the most powerful techniques is surprisingly simple: slow, lowering movements. Physical therapists call this eccentric loading. Here's how it works. When you slowly lower yourself into a chair over 4 or 5 seconds, your muscles experience controlled tension. That tension stimulates muscle fibers, balance systems, connective tissue, and nerve pathways all at once. And because the movement is controlled, it places far less stress on aging joints. This type of training may help support strength, coordination, and stability without exhausting the body. Start small. 5 slow chair sits twice daily. That's enough to begin sending a signal to your muscles that they are still needed. And the body responds to necessity. Because muscle loss after 60 is not only caused by age, it is often caused by reduced stimulation. The body adapts downward when movement disappears, but it can also adapt upward when movement returns. And here's another overlooked strategy: hydration timing. Many seniors drink most of their water late in the evening, then avoid drinking during the day to reduce bathroom trips. Unfortunately, muscles need hydration earlier in the day when activity occurs. Even mild dehydration may worsen cramping risk and reduce physical performance. Try drinking water steadily throughout the day instead of all at once. And if you exercise or walk outdoors, hydration becomes even more important because fluid balance directly affects muscle contraction and nerve signaling. But the final piece of this puzzle may be the most important of all: inflammation. Not the normal short-term inflammation needed for healing, chronic, low-grade inflammation. the kind that quietly damages tissues year after year. Poor sleep, excess sugar, physical inactivity, smoking, chronic stress, ultra-processed foods. All of these may increase inflammatory signaling inside the body, and chronic inflammation interferes with muscle recovery, insulin sensitivity, circulation, and mitochondrial function. In simple terms, inflammation makes it harder for your muscles to repair themselves. That's why lifestyle matters just as much as supplements. Daily walking, protein intake, resistance exercises, sleep quality, sunlight exposure, nutrient-dense foods, stress reduction. These are not small things. They are biological instructions that tell your body whether to maintain strength or slowly surrender it. And the beautiful part is this: the body often responds faster than people expect once it receives the right signals consistently. Not overnight, not magically, but steadily. One better week of sleep, one stronger walk, one less cramp, one easier staircase. Then suddenly something changes psychologically. Hope returns. And when seniors regain confidence in their legs, they regain confidence in life itself. So if your legs have been cramping, if your balance feels weaker, if your stairs feel steeper, or if your body simply feels older than it should, do not ignore those signals. Talk with your healthcare provider about checking magnesium status, vitamin B12 levels, and vitamin D, especially if symptoms are progressing. Because sometimes the body is not failing. Sometimes it is simply undernourished at the cellular level. And once those missing pieces are restored, the body often remembers how to function far better than expected. I'm Dr. Richard Vance, and if this video helped you understand your body a little better, let me know in the comments. Have you ever experienced nighttime leg cramps or sudden leg weakness? And which of these nutrients do you think you may have been missing? I read your comments carefully because your story may help someone else realize there is still hope for stronger legs and healthier aging. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.